So I read 1984, and I hate to break it to you, but we're 3/4 of the way there. Well, so I'm back in the People's Republic of New York, which is a province of the Union of Joe's fucking Socialist Republic, something, whatever, I don't know. It's part of INGSOC. I just got some great news yesterday from our lovely Biden administration. Now, keep in mind, I do not blame Biden. I don't blame Kamala Harris. I don't blame Nancy Pelosi. I blame all of the motherfuckers that keep writing their names on the ballots because they don't pay attention to anything but fucking CNN. I blame them for this. I'm holding them accountable because we knew what Sleepy Joe was all about. We knew it right before you put him in office. And a lot of people put him there, assuming everything was on the up and up. I don't know. I'm not a judge of these things. Assuming everything was on the up and up, if you voted for Joe Biden, I blame you for this. I'm sorry. I hold no forgiveness. Unless you're humble and able to admit your mistake, I have no use for you at this point. You know, I hope you don't even watch my shit, if that's you. You know, I'm just tired of it. I've been segregated from society at this point because I won't put certain shit in my veins, I won't get tested, and I won't fucking put a thing on my face. I'm sorry, I'm done. I gave y'all plenty of time. I wore my very highly effective shirt over my face the entire thing. I have exactly 0 people contact traced to me who have gotten the coof, which has run through just about 3/4 of the people I know, and they're fine. And they haven't gotten it again. They haven't gotten the new letter, whatever letter we're on, to Echo Charlie Lima fucking variant that we're looking for. You know, yeah, I can't. Now, I had planned on coming back and hopping in a truck so that I could pile up some cash. I was going to work for the corporations again for a little while and also bring you guys your shit. You know, because shelves have been looking a little thin lately. But it helps that they've raised pay for the truckers because there's nobody wants to fucking do it. And can you blame them? You know, look what we're doing to this country. And you want people to serve you? Well, I hate to break it to you, but till we get to the forced labor camp stage of the book 1984, we're probably going to have a labor shortage for a while, I'm guessing, especially his really intelligent, brainiac, mastermind leader of our times has decided to do this mandatory horseshit amidst a sea of labor. Oh, if you didn't get it, we're firing you. Meanwhile, you got motherfuckers that can't even run their business because they can't hire anybody. And you could tell them they got to fire that one motherfucker who's working for them that just didn't want to do it. Now, I have no doubt this will force some people into submission because we're not exactly strong backboned in this country, it seems, anymore. You know, people will be like, well, I got to feed my kids, so I got to do it. Got to obey. Got a mortgage. Got a car payment. So I know that I'm going to lose this fight, but that doesn't mean I'm going to give in. I don't care if I'm the last motherfucker out here that doesn't get that shit put in them. I'm not getting that shit put in me. I don't care what you take away. I've said it before. And so, in case you didn't consume mainstream media news, in that case, congratulations. Sleepy Joe got on up there and said that all private companies and all federal jobs will require you to get this jab or you're fired, bitch. You know, that's basically what he said. Don't be a selfish asshole. Do as you're told, or we'll take away everything from you and your ability to survive and participate in society. We'll give you your freedom if you do as you're told, but only if you do as you're told. Only the select people, only the ones that toe the line shall be able to go to Walmart to buy their shit because they have jobs to pay for it. And they're using the corporations, imagine that, to enforce it because they don't have the manpower. Federal government doesn't have the manpower to police this. And a bunch of states aren't on board, so they won't be able to rely on local authorities to do it. So what are they doing? They're going after the corporations. We'll take all your rights away from the corporations who control your life and have been stealing these little fucking powers over you for years. Freedom of speech, corporate control. Your entire medical welfare and health, corporate controlled. Your universities, corporate controlled. Every aspect of your life has some corporation in control of it. And the people in control of those corporations are the ones running things. As much as we like to think it's Sleepy Joe, let's face it, he's just reading the teleprompter. Somebody else is writing it. That's my opinion. It's my thoughts on that. It's opinion. It doesn't require fact-checking. It's a thought. I'm committing a thought crime against INGSOC. For those of you who don't know what INGSOC is, it means you haven't read the book 1984. I'm going to put a link down below to an audiobook version. Very well produced, very entertaining. I was engrossed in it. And I can tell you from going from start to finish, I did not put that book down. I just kept going. Now it's audiobook, and it's not like I was reading. Plus, I was driving a lot, which made it really easy to do that. But anyways, it doesn't matter how you consume it. When you hear some of the things, keep in mind, this was written back in the day, before we did any of this shit. Before we had the telescreens that listen to everything you say and do. Before the bulletins, which I've seen pop up on this fucking thing, about whether or not I'm exposed, or whether or not I'm around somebody that's not playing ball. It amazed me how much of that fucking book we've already accomplished. We're already doing it. And I'd say we got about 25% to go. You know, we're talking globalized conflict between probably 3 centralized factions. That's the way it goes down in the book. Sorry if I spoiled it for you, but this gets established in like the first chapter, so it's not a big deal. But spoiler alert, look around you. You want to know how the book turns out? You know, it's like you've read 3/4 of the book already, you just don't fucking know it yet. And that sucks. Because I think of all the people that have served and fought for the Constitution, for the freedoms, to make our own choices about our body, to make our own choices about how we live and the risks we take. But yet the people want to fucking virtue signal me about this. The same people going to McDonald's and eating themselves into a fucking heart attack. The same people that are getting diabetes because they drink fucking soda and do all this other shit. That are destroying their health. They're going to be the ones that clog the hospital beds. With or without the coof. But we do nothing about that. Why? Because that is in the best interests of food companies and definitely in the best interests of certain medical industries. I'm even loath to say the term for it. See, I got to come up with this new whatever dictionary that from 1984, because we've already established that there's several words that we're not allowed to use anymore, and that there's more words that we should start using instead. Sounds familiar if you read the book. And if you haven't, I'm telling you, take the time. Because if it got the 3/4 of it so far down, it's not a big leap to get that last 25% out of the way. So my plans have shifted, obviously, in light of this news. I have, on and off, been trying to live a semi-retired life in my 40s. Because I don't want to wait till I can't walk up the mountain or climb the hill or walk around in the desert with not enough water and a dream. Because the older I get, the less likely I'm going to be able to do those things. So I prefer to do them here in my 40s instead of my 60s or 70s. Who knows if I even make it there, and why would I want to work 70 hours a week to get there? And I definitely don't want to work 70 hours a week so I can pay for all of Sleepy Joe's pet projects, all of Nancy Pelosi's ice cream. I don't want to fund any of that shit. And I don't want to participate in a society that is going to take away my freedom. So I have to learn to navigate the system, like I've said before. And the way I plan on doing that is I have some skills that I can make money with. Not a lot of money, mind you. I'm not going to be rich. I'm not going to even get to travel as much as I'd like to next year or even this winter. But that being said, I'll be leveraging those skills a little bit more assertively going forward, which is good news if you like my content, because I'll be making a lot more content. If you like my music, I'll be making a lot more music. If you like my photography, I'll be making photography, and I'll be selling that shit so that you can just fucking whatever interests you that I accomplish in the content that I create, which is of a wide variety at this point. You know, it's there, and you can help keep me from starving to death because of Sleepy Joe, because that's what's coming. But leaving that aside, I will also, I doubt that this will apply to independent contractors, because at least not for a couple years till Joe figures out that there's a loophole there. But that being said, I'll probably do DoorDash, Uber, Uber's last resort, Instacart, Amazon Flex, even though Jeff Bezos makes me sick, but pretty much he's the only game in town if you want to buy anything anymore, because Lord knows the shelves are empty. Why? Because there's no fucking truck drivers. There's already a labor shortage. So leave it to Sleepy Joe to fucking kick off the labor shortage by saying he's going to fire more motherfuckers if they don't do as they're told. And then you got the cheerleader. There's people out there like, yeah, get him, Joe. Fuck you. All right, I'm tired of your shit. Tired of your fucking virtue signaling. Tired of your worship. Tired of you telling me what I can and can't do when I haven't done shit to you. You think you can blame me because the media tells you to blame people like me for all the people that have not made it through the coup, for all the people that are getting infected with a certain thing right now. They're blaming me just by virtue of not doing what they're telling me to do. Why? Because it robs me of my choice, and that one of my choices, and I'm very passionate about, and that is what I put in my body. And I have resolved to stay as far away from the medical system as I can. And I bet you, even with your jabs and even with your mask, you're still going to take up a hospital bed, and you're still going to be on so many fucking medications by the time you're old that you'll have fully funded some billionaire's fucking bunker that they had to build because they're ushering in the end of days. You know, I mean, it's really that simple. Meanwhile, I don't even take any over-the-counter shit. I don't give big pharma, am I allowed to say that? I don't give them motherfuckers my money. Period. I'm done. No more money for me. All right? And no more labor. If you don't want me to work, I'm not going to work. At least not for you. I'll be self-employed for sure. I'll go out. I'll do these little gigs, these little side hustles. I'll invest. I'll make money in, crypto till you cut that off from me. I know this is just step one. We'll get there. We'll get there till you take away every avenue of survival, and I'll be out in the woods with a fucking hunting rifle and a dream. Oh, wait, you're taking away that too. So I'll be out there with a knife and some bear spray and hope I get lucky, maybe carve a spear and go old school, maybe rub some sticks together to make a fire if fires aren't banned like they are in half the country right now, But, it's okay. I'll freeze to death so that we don't burn down any forest, even though I'm perfectly capable of starting and putting out a fire without causing something of that nature. But, Mommy and Daddy said I can't make a fire anymore because I'm irresponsible, even though probably half the fires are natural in nature anyway. You see how ridiculous it's become. I mean, we went from 2 weeks to slow the spread to 2 years pretty much, and we got more years to give to wear 2 masks, and then now all of a sudden you got to get 2 pokes to keep your job. I told you in the beginning when you were putting the fucking thing on your face that that's just step one. Once you give them that authority, and you did, everybody gave it to them. They're like, oh, I got to go to Walmart. And I admittedly played ball while I was out on the road anyway. When I was here, I stayed mostly here, and I made one exception, for the business that I'm passionate about. A friend owns it, and they're just doing what they were told because of Cuomo at the time. But no more. I'm done. I'm not putting shit on my face. I'm not getting tested. I don't care. I can't do something, I won't do it. I will operate or outside the bounds and see if I can survive. And I'll let y'all know how I do that. I know it's going to get harder. I know that my participation in society will continue to be eroded with new rules and new regulations and new ways that they try and extract all of my wealth, all of my value, all of my humanity from me, time going forward. And I'm just going to disobey and fight the best I can and try and live my life in spite of the authoritarian rules that are being put in place and that people aren't really stopping. Now, I'm not saying this about everybody. There's people out there fighting a good fight. There's people in court. Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota, has decided to go having a go at Joe in the fucking court system. Good luck with that. I'm not I hope that other states join her and it becomes something that gets shot down, like many of the other lofty things that Sleepy Joe has tried to put forth since he started pencil whipping shit that was written by Kamala Harris in the office. These are all my opinions, by the way. Fact checkers, so fuck off. This is an opinion. I'm not here. If you are basing your life decisions on my opinion, you need help. But I'm done. I'm done with the shit. So, yeah, in the future, I'll be making more content. I'll be doing more live streams. I'll be doing a lot of music. I'm very happy. When I'm doing music, I'm not thinking about any of this shit. Much like when I'm out traveling or walking in the woods, it's kind of in the back of my mind, but it's not consuming me the way it does when I'm idle. And I'm going to do the podcast uncensored on Odysee. I have a feeling I have to put myself through that just to survive. It's not my preferred way, but I do know that a lot of you support that kind of content and want me to continue to do that in spite of its effect on my mental health. I talk a lot of smack about Stoic principles, and I am working on it, but as I've said before, I do suck at Stoicism, and I will continue to suck at Stoicism till such time as the world doesn't suck, probably. But it's going to get harder. It's going to get worse before it gets better. You're going to find it difficult to buy your shit because I'm not the only one. We're not just talking about truckers. We're talking about the people that make the shit, manufacturers, which means the next step's forced labor. First they'll force you to get it, and then they'll force you to go to work. So there's that. And they'll outlaw any attempt to be your own boss or to become a business, or they'll just tax the living shit on anybody that tries that, or make the bureaucracy, like to get a business license or some shit, you know, to pay the man even more, you know. I mean, so yeah, I'm a little bit triggered by Sleepy Joe's edict, his declaration that he is now the dictator of the United States instead of the president of the United States, that he is not upholding and supporting and defending the Constitution of the United States that he swore he would uphold when he raised his fucking hand, which he did so behind a wall of fucking barbed wire and about 50,000 troops on the streets or somewhere in that number range. And not to mention he wasn't taking care of them while they were there, having them sleeping in garages and shit and eating the worst fucking food ever, you know. But, you know, this is the direction we want, I guess. That's what all you Biden voters did, you motherfuckers. I'm tired of your shit. Quit fucking pencil whipping the thing because you're in a tribe. That's not how it works. You don't make CNN any happier by voting along the lines that they tell you to vote. All right? They're still going to fucking try and take everything they can from you, and that's what they're doing. And they want their side in power. And I'm not a Republican either, by the way, mind you. I am anti-establishment at this point, which encompasses both Democrats and Republicans. If you're in bed with the corporations and you're against my freedoms, then I don't support you, either party, if that matters. Because I know a lot of lefties automatically assume if you don't agree with them that you're a conservative. No, I'm not. I'm just on the side of leave me the fuck alone. All right? You want to know my party? My party political affiliation is leave me the fuck alone. I don't even know libertarianism encompasses that. It's like, you let me live my life according to my constitutional rights. Quit fucking regulating me out of existence the way you are. Quit taking away my ability to earn a living. Quit taking away my ability to survive. You know, every little fucking thing they pass is eroded that away over the years to where you can't even have a campfire in the woods, or you can't hunt, you can't fish, you can't do anything without some kind of corporate or government investment. You know, and it's getting fucking crazy. You know, I never thought, you know, that I served my country for fucking 10 years, you know, doing my duty to maintain the freedoms that we had. And we weren't perfect. We never will be perfect, but we're definitely sliding so far in the wrong direction. I can't even fucking keep up anymore, you know. And then spending another 15 years of my life in the truck, hauling all your shit to you, and this is how you repay us? This is what you do for all the people that fought and died to preserve your freedom? You're just going to give it up to good old Sleepy Joe? Because fucking news tells you to do it? Susan and Dorsey and fucking Zuckerberg, they're all on board telling you what to do, and you're just like, yes, Daddy, tell me more. Big brother, I love you. That's essentially what, there's a whole portion of the population. It's Big Brother, I love you. Read the book. I'm telling you, read the fucking book. You know. But what the fuck do I know? You know, I'm not an expert. I'm just an asshole. It's depressing. I'm not depressed. I'm angry. Irritated. I've got a lot going for me still. So I'm not... I'll cross these bridges as I approach them. I'll navigate this shit as I need to. But I hope, you know, we've passed the fork in the road and we're going down the wrong one. I hope we can wake up, turn around, go back to the fork and go the other way. But I don't have a lot of faith in that anymore. I mean, it's been eroded. So I'm going to be stuck navigating this new environment. You know, like the guy in the book. He had this little corner and he thought he was avoiding all of the shit. You know, spoiler alert. But he wasn't. They still got him in the end. And that's what's going to happen to all of us. Change my mind. You know, write me some inspirational shit in the comments. All right? Give me hope. But I don't have a lot of that right now. So I'm going to do the best I can on my own. For those of you who like my triggered rants and my fucking podcasts, it's good times for you. Because I'm not going to be able to keep my mouth shut on this shit. I'm just not. Turns out I got my studio set up. You know, I've got a 3 cam, 1 desktop setup here. Let me just cycle through those. Gives me a chance to test it too. So I've got this camera, I've got that, and I've got the desktop. So, and a switcher for all of them. So high quality streaming coming where I can just sit down in this chair, turn on all this shit, which does take a considerable amount of time. My cable management is atrocious on top of that. So there's going to be plenty of content coming out of this because it might be one of my major income streams going forward. Speaking of which, head to ScottTheTruckDriver.com. Leave a tip in the virtual tip jar if you want me to keep doing this. Otherwise, I'm going to have to work more Instacart, more Uber, more Lyft, or some other way of gathering funds, which means less content. So there's that. Also, sign up for my free email list at ScottTheTruckDriver.com, and when I do one of my uncensored podcasts on Odysee, you'll be aware of it, and you can go there and struggle through the load times. I know, I'm sorry, but that's my only option for uncensoredness, and I'll continue to utilize it. For those of you watching this on Odysee, thank you for your support on there as well. And I'm still going to do the road trips, the hikes, the backpacking. That's all part of my life going forward, and it's one of the few things I'll probably be able to do in the coming days with all of this horse shit. So hopefully we turn it around, because this is the dumbest we've ever been. Why are we putting up with this shit? I don't understand it. Are you that happy with Netflix and Amazon as your life? You know, you don't want some other fulfillment in your life because they're trying to take it all away. They want you to sit at home. They want you to order all your shit online. They want you to comply. They want you to do as you're told, and they want you to work 70 hours a week in the process so that you can give all of this revenue for them to spend on shit that we don't need. All right? Like, you know, weapons for the Taliban. You know? Yeah, that's all. They're running around with all the shit we bought over the past 20 years. It's great. We did a good job there, Joe. Fucking asshole. All right. So as you can guess, there's probably going to be some songs and parodies coming forward for Sleepy Joe, because I'm tired of his shit. And hell, I came out with that song about Cuomo, and then Cuomo was bye-bye. And y'all were thinking of, some of y'all were telling me I was a piece of shit and I was crazy because I hated on Cuomo. How'd that work out for you? Well, now I've turned my attention to the next one in line that's fucking up my life, and that's Joe Biden. And if you vote for that motherfucker again, there's no hope. If he gets reelected, we're done. We lose. Because that means there's over half the population in this country that is on board with the new normal. Not only on board, they want more control over you. Don't give it to them, I hope. Turn it around. All right, I'm done bitching. Have a nice motherfucking day and shit. Also, sometime this weekend, maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday, I'm going to do a live stream of music. Once I get it all sorted out. I'm still working on the studio a bit. I still got to get the live streaming shit all squared away. So, look forward to that. And I'll chat about some of this shit in the process. It won't be all music. You know, the whole point of live stream is to hang out. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to hang out as long as Susan lets us for now. But keep in mind, Odyssee's my backup. ScottTheTruckDriver.com is my backup. But we've been doing better on YouTube than I thought I was going to do, to be honest. So I'll keep putting shit on YouTube, too. Mainly because Odysee pissed me off, too. But, you know, it is what it is. I wasn't happy with the way the whole LBC debacle was handled. and continues to be handled. All right, that's it. Have a nice motherfucking day. And shit.